Last year, Ken handed us his commercial kitchen floor and we crushed it like a 5-star Yelp review with a bonus hug, crushed it. Now he's back, this time with leftover flakes. And we're about to turn his rental bathroom into something his tenants are about to brag about on Zillow. We've got just a few days before move-in, which is perfect timing for our hybrid flake shower system. Custom look, not custom price. Stick around and I'll show you how to pull this off step by step, Stone Coat style. Now let's roll. All right, first up, the most important step that nobody brags about, but everybody regrets skipping, Red Guard. Ken's rolling it on to build a waterproof barrier behind those foam panels. Yes, our epoxy is waterproof, but this is your sleep better at night layer. 2 coats minimum. Don't rush it. Don't miss a corner. If you skip this part, you're basically inviting future molds to the party. And trust me, mold never leaves. Now let's protect that brand new floor before we start slinging epoxy. Ram board. Roll it out anywhere you think drips are going to splash, plus give yourself an exit plan. If you're going to have epoxy on your shoes, you want to walk on ram board out of the house to the bathroom. Do not get epoxy where you don't want epoxy to go. Time to size our XPS foam panels. I'm dry fitting them tighter than my jeans after barbecue night. These panels come from the big box store. They're lightweight, easy to cut, and man, epoxy loves this stuff. That's my spacer for the seam. Yeah, so pro tip, guys, whenever dry fitting or templating your showers, you want a spacer. You don't want that panel sitting all the way down on the pan. Moisture will actually wick up anything. That's tile, that's your cement board. You want that up off that ground, so when water works its way down your wall or your tiles, sits on the pan to come to the drain, can't work its way up the back of that. Now here's a pretty cool trick for you. Instead of measuring for those hardware holes, I'll just push the foam right up against them. Bam, perfect imprint. Then I zip it out with a jigsaw, hole saw. Start small, test fit, then open it up bigger if you need. Remember, measure once, cut small, sneak up to perfection. So this board's our support for the glass doors or the shower curtain rod. Now you could really anchor that in tight without compressing the foam over time. But if your client or yourself ever wants glass doors, you need that as well, because you're anchoring through to hook the brackets to hold the glass. So you don't just want to rely on this. You also need backing behind your sheetrock that those screws anchor into actual studs. Take your time and try to have the least amount of wrinkles as possible. It's nice if you have a helper to come hold this, then you can pull off some more mesh and then iron it nice and easy. Take your time at this step. Because once this step's down, we're gonna come trim a little bit, not all the way flush. Then we're gonna mix up 4 ounces per square foot, coat that right over this mesh, and then no need to torch, because the torch can lift that mesh as well. This is our epoxy undercoat step, right? We're gonna completely cover this with another layer of epoxy once we sand all the high points down. So if you have some air bubbles, some micro bubbles, totally fine. We're gonna sand, coat over that, you'll never know. So now, my mesh is overlapped, totally normal. I come back with a sheetrock knife and I just cut this as close to the panel as I can at this point. So remember, this is a flake shower. We're gonna put 1 ounce down, throw the flakes just like a floor, let it cure, then we'll fill it up just like we're doing the countertop.
Yep.
When I have little craters or pinholes like this on a concrete floor and I'm doing flake, I'm not worried about it whatsoever, because I'll sand, throw it over, and the flakes are sitting on here. So the air bubbles will still be coming out, but they're going to be completely covered and those flakes are going to be glued. Then the next coat of polyaspartic locks those flakes inside. But I would feel that if it was marble, because it's a flake job, I'm not worried about it. While Nate's over here sanding the shower panels nice and smooth with 220 grit, I'll be cutting MDF for the Vanity. I'm using my random orbital sander to give myself a round over on these panels. Ken, he doesn't have a router. I don't have time to run to the hardware store, so I made do with that sander. Then I hit it with 2 coats of our epoxy undercoat. It's like primer with a purpose. Once that dries, I'm gonna glue it down, glue the back, because we're pouring this one in place. I'm gonna cover up that cabinet, and this is a pro tip right here. These are your leak areas. You wanna make sure to shingle that just like a roof. We're gonna mix up about 1 ounce per square foot of SpeedCure. No need to really tint it because it's going to be completely covered anyways with the flake. Yeah. We'll spread that out with a roller. We have plenty of time once you get that thin. And we'll let it sit 20 to 25 minutes. you know, you would never do that if you want to be melding and manipulating, but we're using it as a glue at this point. So yeah, totally cool. I would have cut this hole after I did my whole marble coat if I was doing marble. Do not put it on the back edges of those two. This one Nate's on, we've got top and bottom, not the sides. After mixing and rolling, I'm gonna apply my flake at about between 20 and 30 minutes after mixing. For art coat, you could wait even longer, but the most important thing on this, you could flake it right away, that's fine. This is just like a flake floor at this point. And when I'm throwing the flakes, you kind of throw it up and let gravity and disperse it rather than big clumps. You'll have wasted flake, and sometimes they'll cure in a funky way. So I just grab a handful. I'm gonna let y'all do this too. Grab it, a handful, and just fling it nice and uniformly. So we're kind of almost like you're bowling. This is the scrapings off of Ken's floor. Tomorrow, or within 4 hours, we could scrape this, and then I sand it with 220, any little high points. Then we're gonna vacuum and apply the first seal coat. Flood coat, ultimate top coat, then this job's done. All right, guys, we're back, and it's time to scrape those loose flakes. I like to use drywall joint knives. We're gonna keep a shallow angle. I'm just gliding any loose flakes off. I'm gonna grab the vacuum and vacuum up any of those micro flakes that may be sticking behind, and then we're gonna apply a seal coat, a 2 ounce per square foot coat. From here on out, we're going art coat. Why? Because it's the most UV resistant epoxy on the market, meaning it's gonna stay color fast for the longest amount of time. All right, folks, it's the next day. We've sanded the tops, it's cured really good. We're gonna mix up 4 ounces per square foot to the panel. We're doing a heavy flood coat. And then we're pouring, we're gonna chop with our phalanges. We'll come back the next day and check on the flood coat. If it's good to go, nice and smooth, we're ready for the ultimate top coat. All right, guys, we're back. It is grinding drip day. If you wanna go through those epoxy drips like a hot knife through butter, you want your 50 grit metal fiber sanding disc. You can pick these up at your hardware store, but I'm gonna hold this up at an angle and just grind away. It'll take me about 2 to 3 minutes on this bad boy using the grinder with the metal sanding disc. If I were to use 60 grit on a random orbital sander, I'm gonna go through a bunch of papers. These drips start ripping your paper apart, and it's gonna probably take me 25 minutes to sand those off. So be sure to mask up, grind those drips. When that's complete, we're gonna flip these over and sand with 220 and then to 320. The reason I'm going to 320 is because these are getting glossy ultimate top coat. If you had some rough curly Q scratch marks, the matte ultimate top coat pretty much erases every single one of those. But the glossy, they may goes through. So I go up to 320 whenever using glossy, make sure it's a uniform even sand, wipe the dust down, and then we're ready to apply the ultimate top coat. Your rinser's due to move in tomorrow.
Yes.
And we were able to, in so far 4 days, build you a flake shower. We'll have it installed tomorrow just in time.
Yeah, you saved my life.
All right, here we go. The money shot. Time for the ultimate top coat. This is our glossy version. The glossy goddess that locks everything in and makes people go, wait, that's epoxy? That looks like leathered granite, but glossy. The top coat comes with thorough instructions on thinning, mixing, applying. Follow them step by step. This looks like straight up quartz when it's all done. So I definitely recommend using that glossy top coat whenever doing the flake system on your countertops, shower walls. It really does match quartz. Now, time to cut out those hardware holes with a multi-tool or a hole saw. Let that blade do the work. Patience equals clean cuts and fewer swear words. All right, a quick vacuum. Scoop away any of those loose runaway flakes. Save those for next time. No flake left behind. Next, we're gonna dry fit everything. Backsplash, panels, all of it. Epoxy adds a little bit of the thickness on the edge. Most of the time you're good to go, but if you've got silicone all over the place, you're gonna highly regret that. Nobody wants that kind of drama in their life. Once it fits, I blob on 100% silicone behind each panel on the wall, plus a large bead around the shower head, around the handle head, plus a large bead at the corner after applying that back panel. I use the 100% silicone Cheapo Depot stuff on the back. I save my hard-earned dollars for that expensive silicone for my beauty beads. You can see me here putting a heavy-duty bead right there. That's gonna help seal that panel to the wall. We're not getting any leaks here, guys. Don't forget those paint stick spacers at the bottom. Keeps those panels lifted so when the water comes down, it does not wick up the back. That antimicrobial $8 a tube silicone is what I use on the outside, and it's worth every cent. It lasts the longest, and that's what your customer or your wife is going to be seeing. Where the panels meet the painted walls, I switch over to my 100% latex caulking. It's paintable. If your customer changes the color later on, they can paint that caulking. A damp sponge is your best friend at this point. You wipe it down, voila. And there it is, folks. 3 days, start to finish, custom look, DIY budget. Ken renters get to move in tomorrow to a bathroom that looks like it cost 10 grand. The hybrid Flake shower system. It'll take your next project from boring to stone coat stunning. From all of us here at Coat Countertops, don't forget, you got this, and go make something awesome. Man, that was a nice ending. A little bit chiller than normal ones. I'm enjoying this flyover. The sink looks fabulous. I didn't even get to see all this because as soon as this job was over, I had to get on a plane and leave. Good job. Nice flyover, Chris. See you guys on the next one.